Hey, everybody, it's Matt Mayoko from NBC Sports Bay Area with an update from the 49ers. Both Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have gone on KNBR over the past day to give updates on Christian McCaffrey. All signs pointing toward him playing and probably playing a lot. And we'll get into all that. But first, this is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery. It's a brewery, a restaurant, a beer garden, all in a very family friendly atmosphere. So if you're ever in the La Miranda area in the East Bay, come by and check it out. Canyon Club Brewery, great spot, outdoor seating, fire pits and everything else. Also, it's coming soon to the Livery in Danville. So I'm sure I'll be a frequent visitor there. Who knows? You come by, you might see me. And if you see me, buy me a beer. Or, well, you don't have to buy me a beer, but maybe just say hi. Okay, let's get to the 49ers. And like I said, once the 49ers opened the practice window for Christian McCaffrey, pretty much told you that they felt he was ready to go and ready to make a contribution. And so he will definitely be in uniform, barring something unforeseen later Friday or Saturday. But Christian McCaffrey will be in uniform on Sunday facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And on his KNBR radio show on Thursday, Shanahan said, yes, he does expect him to be out there. John Lynch was also on KNBR. This was Friday morning. Lynch and a lot of people from the 49ers organization were in Dallas for the service of Amani Joy Ward, Charvarius's young daughter, who tragically passed away on October 28th. And so John was there, but he was hooked up on the phone, and he provided some updates on the 49ers. He talked about McCaffrey, and he says that he practiced Monday, which is that bonus practice, about an hour-long practice, and then he had the day off on Tuesday, and then practice Wednesday and Thursday. And he said he just kind of looked like he was in his normal fashion during any work week, and that he looked great. So John Lynch kind of confirmed what Kyle Shanahan said, that 49ers are hopeful that he will be out there. And then he also said that he wouldn't get into how much he would play, how he's going to be used. But that kind of sounds like it's something that, the 49ers will go in with a plan on how much to use him, and maybe even have a schedule for early in the game of, exactly when they're going to use him, maybe give him, whatever, X number of plays in a row, give him a break for X number of plays, or maybe, take a full series off. But the one thing that Lynch said was that Mason and Garindo, you'll continue to see those guys quite a bit. With Mason, it'll be interesting to see how the 49ers use him, because he did have the shoulder injury against Seattle, and then he aggravated that against the Cowboys and sat out most of the second half of that game, and Garindo took over. Mason was a full go in practice on Wednesday. But then Thursday, clearly something happened on Wednesday. Thursday, he had the blue non-contact jersey on and was limited in practice. So now with McCaffrey up, with Garindo ready, with Patrick Taylor also as a backup running back, maybe the 49ers just say to Jordan Mason, back off. Let's get that shoulder ready to go, so that if they need him later in the season, they have him and he's not continually aggravating that shoulder. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. As far as McCaffrey goes, just kind of some numbers. What do you think about how the 49ers use McCaffrey? I'm of the opinion that the 49ers need to win football games, and they need to do whatever it takes to win games, really, starting here Sunday against Tampa Bay. 49ers are 4-4. They have a difficult schedule remaining, so they have to take care of business. They have to win the games they have to win. Let me rephrase that. They have to win the games they're supposed to win. And that really starts against Tampa Bay. And so if it means maybe playing McCaffrey more than you would think, then so be it. Last year, in the 16 games he appeared, he played 81% of the 49ers offensive snaps. So obviously that's a lot. I would expect him to be in that 60 to 70% range. Last year, he carried the ball 272 times. He was targeted in the passing game 83 times. So if you just take the targets and the running attempts, so it's basically the number of times the 49ers wanted to get the ball in his hands, 22 times per game. And then with a few incompletions, 16 incompletions on Purdy passes his way. So it comes down to 21 touches per game for Christian McCaffrey. I don't think the touches will be that much, but also, I wouldn't be shocked either. I don't think they're going to limit him to like 10 touches in this game. I would think somewhere maybe in that 16 to 18 range. And also, I think the 49ers are going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to get the backs really involved, whether Mason's on the field or not. And part of the reason is twofold. I think the 49ers going into this game against Tampa Bay, it's going to be hot, 85 degrees, some humidity there. They also realize that the Buccaneers are coming off an overtime game in Kansas City on Monday night where their defense was on the field for 85 snaps. So the 49ers are going to want to control the ball. They're going to want to keep the chains moving, put together first downs, have those, 8, 10, 12 play drives to really wear down Tampa's defense, but also keep their own defense off the field. And so if that's the case, if the 49ers are able to have 75 snaps in this game or whatever the case may be, they're going to want to run the ball 30 plus times. So how do they divvy up those rushing attempts? I do think that Christian McCaffrey will be a big part of this game plan, as well he should be, and that's in the running game and in the passing game. Brock Purdy talked about the return of McCaffrey on Thursday, and he says that as far as defenses go, he's somebody you have to account for and that he opens up other guys in the passing game. He says, more than anything, we have really good playmakers across the board, and we're going to try to get the ball into our guys' hands at the right time in the right situations. He said, so it's nice to know that I can go through my read and come right back down to Christian on those check down attempts. So, that's where the 49ers offense is. Christian McCaffrey coming back, Juwan Jennings coming back, Deebo Samuel will be a factor in this game. And then, and if I were to pick an X factor in this game, it might be Ricky Pearsall. Pearsall he took advantage of the bye week. He knows he made strides from week one when he was out there to week two, playing against the Kansas City Chiefs 1 week. And then the last game the 49ers faced where, he just felt like maybe more in a rhythm, more in a flow. And I would think that because of what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to try to do to the 49ers defensively is try bringing different pressure packages and blitzing and maybe playing some more man coverage, that Pearsall might have an opportunity. Not to go crazy, not to have like 12 catches for 120 yards or anything like that, but just look for him on third downs when the 49ers are in their 3 wide receiver sets with Deebo and Juwan and Ricky Pearsall. So he's one guy to keep an eye on in this game as well. So I'm kind of curious what you would like to see, what you envision for Christian McCaffrey, because I think it's going to be more the same. It's going to be a lot of what we saw last year, maybe just dialed down a bit. But, as I said on an earlier video this week, it's not necessarily, the playoffs really, the playoffs haven't begun. It's not like do or die, you win or you don't go to the playoffs. But I do think that right now, the 49ers have such little room for error that they just have to get this thing going. And if it means, Christian McCaffrey is their best avenue toward winning a football game, then I think that that's the way they have to go. Okay, let's see. Any other updates from the 49ers? When I talked about wearing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down as far as their defensive line and Vita Vea, it kind of swings both ways. 49ers certainly want to be win the ball control battle on this game, and a lot of that has to do with taking care of their own defensive line. And so the 49ers will probably have more defensive linemen active for this game. And it could be possible that Khalil Davis, whom they picked up in a trade from the Houston Texans, he could be active in this game. I talked to him on Thursday, and he said that it's a very seamless transition going from Houston and their defense, same terminology, stepping into the 49ers. He's watched a lot of 49ers film, and so he's just able to really step in and pick things up quickly. Um, he is part of that defensive line rotation. I would expect the 49ers to keep a lot of their defensive linemen active for this game to be able to have that rotation to keep guys fresh throughout. John Lynch, talking about Khalil Davis on KNBR on Friday morning, said that they needed some depth. That's why they went out and they got Davis from Houston. And he said he's a guy we've had our eyes on for a while. Also, he did mention, by the way, that Dre Greenlaw, that his return is right around the corner. What exactly that means, I'm not sure, but wouldn't it be total? I think I was going to say, wouldn't it be a total surprise if he's activated, or at least they open up that window for him next week? That might be pushing it a little bit, but I do think pretty much any week the question will be asked, is it this week? And it very well could be. It looks like he's basically on a week-to-week schedule now as far as what they're going to do with Dre Greenlaw. One injury that popped up on Thursday, Malik Mustafa, the starting safety, the rookie, he left practice with a calf condition. So keep an eye on that. We'll see where he practices today, how much he's able to practice. Today being Friday, 49ers will practice, and then they'll get on their buses, go to the airport, and then fly to Tampa. They'll arrive in Tampa late Friday night, have a day Saturday to rest, meetings, walkthrough, and then, of course, they play the game on Sunday. But keep an eye on at 1 p.m. on Saturday. I think I'll be in the air at that point. I'm flying to Tampa on Saturday morning. But what the 49ers do with their practice squad, because if Mustafa is up in the air, who is the safety that they line up next to Jair Brown? Do they just go straight to Sean Gibson, who he rejoined the 49ers this week after the Jaguars cut him? He served a 6-game suspension for PED, for breaking the NFL's PED policy. So is he up to speed where they can just put him right back into the starting lineup? Or do they go with George Odom? 49ers also had a veteran, Adrian Amos, active for the game last week, but he's new to the team, only been around a couple weeks. So that's something to keep an eye on. Tashawn Gibson, the veteran, rejoins the team. Obviously, a new coordinator, but everything about that defense remains the same. So he might be very soon putting himself in a position to make a contribution. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you again for watching this video. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications, like, comment, and we will check in later in the day for an update of what's happening in Santa Clara as the 49ers get ready to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have their final practice in Santa Clara before departing. And that's it for now.